Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, April 6. Jamaica will continue talks with Trinidad and Tobago to address the issue of Jamaicans being denied entry into that country. The reception and treatment of Jamaican citizens upon their arrival in the Caribbean country will also form part of those discussions. In a release Tuesday, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith said her ministry was deeply concerned about those issues. She said there was great interest and frustration about the movement of Jamaicans within the Caribbean community CARICOM. Senator Johnson-Smith said she spoke with Trinidad's Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dennis Moses about the issues and steps were being taken to find solutions. The Ministry of Health has received $100,000 from one of its private sector partners to help fight the Zika virus. The money was handed over on Tuesday by Fontana Pharmacy, which also developed an educational flyer on Zika prevention. The educational flyers are being distributed throughout the company's pharmacies island-wide, while additional distribution points are being considered. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton expressed thanks to Fontana and other stakeholders who have been supporting government's intervention. The Education Ministry is addressing concerns about the Alternative Pathway to Secondary Education APPS program, assuring that the additional 2 years of schooling will only apply to students who need the support. Chief Education Officer in the ministry, Dr. Grace McLean, clarified the issue while at a JIS think tank this morning. She said high school students on APPS, which rolls out this September, will have the option to not spend the additional 2 years after completing fifth form once they have attained the required academic qualifications.
So there will be some of our students who would not have passed any of their subjects, whether it is in City and Guild, CVQ, NVQ or CSEC, or there may be some of our students who would have attained 2 subjects or 3 subjects or 1 subject and would need this additional support.
A new public education initiative will be unrolled to steer young people away from lottery scamming activities. The United States Embassy will be partnering with the Ministries of Education and National Security on the initiative.
We're going to work with the JCF in engaging a public relations firm and work at targeting the at-risk youth here. This is not a victimless crime. It's not fun. It's contributing to violence here in Jamaica, and on the other side, it's taking advantage of older, infirm people and not rich, people. So that's one thing that we're also working on. It has an educational tie-on because, of course, some of this work is going to have to be done at school.
Ambassador Moreno discussed the lottery scamming public education program with Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid during a courtesy call at the ministry on Monday. Senator Reid made it clear that his ministry was firmly committed to tackling the serious issue.
In terms of our messaging, we are going to be out there trying to steer our youth away from anything that's negative, give them better opportunities.
Minister Reid and Ambassador Moreno also discussed heightening the trafficking in persons public education intervention among the youth and expanding the program for Jamaicans wishing to study in the U.S., among other issues. The Cannabis Licensing Authority, CLA, says it expects to start reviewing applications before the end of the month for licensees under Jamaica's legal ganja industry. That process was supposed to begin on April 4, but the CLA's chairman, Dr. Andre Gordon, says the transition to a new government has caused some delays in getting approval for the regulations that were developed to support this. The chairman says the draft regulations have been presented to the new minister with portfolio responsibility, Carl Samuda, who, along with the Minister of Justice, has to review and approve them for the industry to be able to commence operations. The application forms, eligibility criteria and price structure to potential licensees also require their approval. A meeting should take place shortly to review the matter. In the meantime, Minister Samuda says while it's unfortunate that the start date has to be pushed back, it is important to ensure that the regulations will facilitate an industry that is beneficial to Jamaicans. He says the industry must grow legitimate small enterprises across the country while ensuring that Jamaica remains compliant with its international obligations. In February, the Cannabis Licensing Authority revealed that 11 types of licenses would be available in the areas of cultivator, transportation, processing, retailing, and R&D. And finally, Sport Minister Olivia Grange has urged the West Indies Cricket Board WICB and players to find common ground on which trust and confidence can be built. She was speaking last night at the Norman Manley International Airport during a welcome home reception for Jamaican members of the West Indies men's senior cricket team, which won the World T20 Championships. Minister Grange asserted that in order to prevent the recurrence of seemingly perpetual disputes, the WICB and the players must address their issues early.
Like good parents, the West Indies Cricket Board must reposition itself in such a way that its players see the governing body as its chief guardian rather than its Achilles heel. The players too, you must be cognizant that not receiving best wishes prior to an exam doesn't mean your parents aren't caring or want you to fail.
The minister congratulated the Jamaican players, including those of the victorious women's cricket team, who returned to the country earlier today. Minister Grange said she hoped that the three-peat win of the World T20 Championships was the start of a West Indies cricket renaissance. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.